Hey, Chris here. I'm going to talk to you about a little project. Before I start it, went ahead and bought this inexpensive old dresser. It's in a little rough shape, but I'm going to cut it and paint it. So that's why I'm okay with that. It was all about finding the right size. Because what I'm going to do with that is I want to go ahead and replace where these plastic drawers are on my workbench. I want to put in some nicer, more permanent looking drawers. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see here on the dresser, I've taken out this bottom row of drawers. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut right along this bottom row of drawers so that we only have these top two row of drawers. Okay, and that's going to fit in perfectly. Give me about an inch, inch and a half max to spare height wise, and then about an inch and a half on each side to fit under there. So it should fit under there really nice. And only other thing I need to do is probably just kind of sand the sides of the drawers here. They've kind of expanded a little bit. That'll be easy. Otherwise, they actually work pretty good, especially for a dresser of this age. So it should be a fun project. Shouldn't be that hard for me to do. Um, Looking forward to doing it. Some of the other projects I did with kind of upcycling, if we want to call it or whatever, is these towers. So this was a tower and there was a matching tower. The matching tower I chopped up into pieces and then made those drawers right there. Um, got a bunch of trim left over and a bunch of little quarter round trim and from a remodeling project. So can really clean things up with that and make things look nice. And then for this tower, I just went ahead and built a base, put some nice 5-inch casters on it, added the spot for the ladder, added a spot up top, built a little box that kind of has little cubbies for spray paints, and then put some magnets on the back of each drawer in the tower so when it's rolling around that the drawers don't open. So they're just some projects that I like to do during COVID. And now this is my last project. I just like to have things to do because my work is limited during COVID. I can't do as much. So I will take some other photos later or video once I get further along and show you how things are going. All right. So this cut down very easy. The back came off completely, so I didn't have to do any super long cuts. And it was just very easy to go ahead and cut with a circular saw to the right size. As you can see here, I have enough room that I'm going to try to build some very thin drawers that are going to go across the top with some like full extension hinges and then or drawer slides. And those, yes, they're not going to be very deep, but they definitely will accommodate wrenches or screwdrivers or those type of tools in here. Um, just to beef it up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and put 1x6s that run the full length uh, of the drawers. And same over here. And you can see these are the old kind of center mount drawer rails, which I think are going to work fine. If I need to replace them down the road, um, I can. But of course, since they don't pull out all the way, they should still be fine. They're not full extension. They should still be fine with the weight that is going to go on there. So otherwise, yeah, you can see it's almost the perfect width. Going to have a couple inches on each side. Um, but, and then once I build the drawers to go across the top, there's going to be a little bit of clearance, obviously, but not much. So it'll really fill the space nicely. And just picked up some black paint to paint it flat black as well. More to come. All right, so reinforced everything. You can see I've kind of stuck some additional 1x6s in there to kind of run the length of these. Okay, built kind of I guess where the rails are going to attach on the top, and I'm going to go ahead and go to like a 22-inch long drawer to put up there. And I was able to find some really nice full extension drawers on clearance on Amazon Warehouse. I think I only paid about $7 a piece for a 22-inch extension, which is or full extension ball bearing slide drawer slide, which is a heck of a deal. So still trying to do it as cheap as I can. Going to go ahead and get it cleaned up and start painting it probably. So here's my drawers that are going to go on the top. As you can see, they're very thin, really just not even 2 inches tall because those aren't truly 2 inches. put dividers down the middle, just give more stability. Um, Siliconed kind of on the inside, as well as nailed, used a nail gun and staple gun to affix this fiberboard to the bottom to keep them thin and light. And then this is just going to get, well, this will all get painted, but then these will get like that kind of padded tool bench drawer material stuck inside them. So I wasn't too worried about the caulking being pretty. So anyway, we will let those dry too, and then probably quick hit them with a sander, not a lot that needs to be sanded, and paint them up as well.
Okay, so I have everything painted and ready to go. Painted several coats of paint. Uh, Painted the insides of the drawers and the faces, of course. Um, the bottoms, you can see I did not paint because I'm going to be putting like a toolbox padded material, and I'll show that in the next video. Here is the paint that I used. Um, this is some of the only premixed black paint. It was either this or go with enamel, and enamel would be more durable, but it's just a pain to deal with. It makes more of a mess and it takes a lot longer to dry. And instead I went with, I put this matte clear coat to spray over the top just to kind of give it a little more durability. A couple little aluminum bars. These are going to go kind of right along the bottom of these top drawers just to kind of dress them up, make them look a little nicer. So that is where I'm at right now, and I will go ahead and put that special padding in the bottom. I'll show that in another video. So my next step here is to go ahead and cut out some of this padding material for the insides of each drawer. So I have a couple choices here. Again, trying to always do this as cost effective as possible. This is some nice material I've used in the past in toolboxes, and you can see the thickness here. Feels nice. It's got some cushioning. It is about $5 at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, and you get 5 feet of it and by 20 inches. So very good deal compared to buying the actual toolbox shelf liner. So this brand is easy to find at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. And as long as you can get the colors you like, I've gotten it in black or gray before. Another option is to get a yoga mat. This comes in 24 by 68, and this is the really kind of thin yoga mat. You don't want a thick one. And yes, this is very ugly. I don't want this color, but the inside here is white, which is fine, and gives some nice padding. This one's a little wider because you get that 24 inches, so it's going to actually be more cost effective, and it was on clearance for $6, and you get an extra 8 inches. So that's a really good deal. Yeah, it would have been ideal if this had been a black or a gray, but I couldn't find that, and this will definitely suffice. So those are a couple options. I'm going to go ahead and cut those. Just use, measure, use a straight edge and a razor, and I'll glue them in with a 3M adhesive, and then I'll show you some video after I'm done. Okay, so I completed the drawers. I got the different liners in there. You can see that right there. And then I used the black liner up here that I had. This is what I use for spray adhesive. This 3M Super 77 is pretty awesome, very sticky. Be careful with it. One time I was at Home Depot and they had a cart full of it for 5 cents a can. I bought a couple cans, not knowing what I'd do with them, and now I wish I would have bought the whole cart because it's really come in handy. So you can see I put that little aluminum strip along the bottom there to just kind of dress that up a little bit. And then I had some of these old wrenches, and since these two matched, I thought they would look good, kind of just for the little handles or pulls right there. Just waiting on my full extension hinges for the top drawers here, and then we can go ahead and install it. So it's getting there, and hopefully I have those rails or the drawer slides tomorrow.
Okay, so we can see the finished project. So everything worked out. I just had to wait for my drawer slides for these top little thin drawers that I built to have the little wrench handles. So you can see that they actually, this one is has a little more height, so I can fit these organizer containers on this side. However, this side has a little less height because of my socket organizers in the drawer above it. So I can't fit those organizer trays over there, but that's okay because I'm probably just going to use this for wrenches on this side anyway. But very nice, full extension um, drawers up top here. And those rails were a really good deal on Amazon Warehouse. So I picked them up for about 65% off of retail. And of course, they work just fine. They were missing the hardware, but that was no big deal. And they were in perfect shape. All right, so otherwise, all my other drawers are here. Everything looks pretty nice. You can see I went ahead and put this one drawer does stick a little bit. I might sand it a little more, but I was getting sick of doing that. So the rest of the drawers work well. And they've got that padding in there, that yoga mat padding that I did. So while I was doing this project, I realized I have these 3 extra drawers and I have this room underneath. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put those drawers in down underneath here, just waiting on the drawer slides to come for that. And again, got a great deal on Amazon for drawer slides for those. And the drawers will actually probably be flush kind of with the top of the metal piece there so that they're raised up a little bit off the ground. So anyway, I think it turned out pretty nice. Overall, 50 bucks for the dresser, 10 bucks for paint, 12 bucks for drawer slides, probably, $20 in wood total. And then the yoga mat, so probably about $100 all in. I think it looks really nice and complements the rest of the um, Workbench. So very happy with it at that price. So anyway, just something to do, a good project to do during my COVID time at home. I enjoyed doing it. It'll be fun to do those bottom 3, and then I don't know what I'm going to do next. Thanks.